This podcast episode wants to recognize the following sponsors: Huntington Bank, Northwest Ed for hosting the Super Saturday event, Beta for supporting our tax program, Consumers Energy, and CEDM, Community Economic Development Association of Michigan. This podcast is produced by Northwest Michigan Community Action Agency. The Collective Us, an NMCAA podcast, focuses on inspiring you through stories of those we've helped through our programming or by linking local resources to community members in need. Join us as we learn about the programs offered through NMCAA and how we touch people's lives every day. Welcome back to The Collective Us. I'm Erica Austin. And unfortunately, my co-host Ryan Buck cannot be here with us today, so we wish him well and hope to see him again next episode. We are in that time of year that many people find, unfortunately, dreadful. But not for our guest today. And no, we're not talking about the gray days of winter. We're talking taxes. And while taxes aren't always a fun thing to do, it is necessary, and NMCAA has programs that can help. So let's jump into it. Today's guests come to us from our Financial Management Services Department. Welcome to the studio for the first time, Alissa Norris, our Marketing Coordinator, and Brittney Grzesiak, Tax Program Coordinator. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Erica.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So NMCAA does taxes. I'm willing to bet many of our listeners didn't know that. So let's jump in with the headliner, supporting tax prep program, Super Saturday. Brittney, can you tell us a little bit about this event?
About Super Saturday?
Yeah,
definitely. It's a great community event that Financial Management Services partners with other community partners on to provide our attendees with workshops, with a free lunch, with information and other resources in the community. And then we also do free tax preparation at the event. The sponsors joining us for the event this year are Huntington Bank, Michigan Works Networks Northwest, DHHS, Grand Traverse Regional Community Connections, Traverse Health Clinic, Grand Traverse County Department Veteran Affairs, Northwest Michigan Health Services, and MSUFCU, United We Smile, Unemployment Agency, TC Beauty College, and
Veterans Affairs.
At
awesome.
the Career Tech Center.
I was going to ask you to shout out your sponsors, so thanks for jumping ahead and doing that. Alissa, can you tell us a little bit more about what's in store for Super Saturday this year, just at the event? What kind of things can folks look forward to?
Yeah, so one of the big attractions of Super Saturday is our free tax filings. So attendees have the opportunity to schedule a free tax appointment with our volunteers, and they're all fabulous. Like, they're just great, wonderful people. And so attendees can go in and get their taxes filed for free. And then we also offer free workshops. And this year we are having Scam Bingo with Huntington Bank and a resume building class with Michigan Works. So we'll have 2 workshops available rotating throughout the day, so attendees have an opportunity to attend both workshops. And then we are also having a bunch of vendors there as well, which Brittany just listed them all off. And so they also have the opportunity to access additional free resources in our community.
Awesome. So if somebody's interested in coming, but maybe they've already got their taxes filed, or they're just interested in maybe the resume building workshop, is it okay if they come to just do the workshop, or do they need to get their taxes filed as well?
Oh, they can come for the workshops.
Perfect.
If they would like to register, they can go to our website, and it's right on the front page.
Awesome. Perfect. Cool. So this year is the 21st anniversary of Super Saturday for NMCAA. So that's really kind of an exciting thing. Can you guys kind of tag team maybe and tell us a little bit about the history of the event and kind of where it began and where they're at now?
Super Saturday event began in February of 2004 with NMCAA's Karen Emerson, Financial Management Services Manager, as co-coordinator, and it's continued to be a great collaborative event in the community ever since. In the past few years, NMCAA has been a key player in the statewide Show Me the Money Day sponsored by CEDM, the Community Economic Development Association of Michigan. And Super Saturday is held every year 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with registration beginning at 9 a.m. And the Saturday Special Work Group enlists over 75 volunteers, booth exhibitors, and presenters for each event.
The volunteers are a huge part as well of this event, too, because they are really crucial. We need volunteers from when we start setting up at 7:30 in the morning on Saturday morning to when we wrap up at the end of the day by 3:30 after all the attendees have left the building. So we really depend on our volunteers within NMCAA and outside of our organization.
Awesome. So it really takes the community to put this event on, and that's a really exciting thing. And again, that leads back to, NMCAA. We are the Community Action Agency. So you talked about statewide Show Me the Money Day. And in preparation for this podcast, Karen Emerson, our Financial Management Services Manager, had mentioned it to me as well. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is, just for our listeners at home?
Yeah. So Show Me the Money Day is just really encouraging those who are low income to still come and get their taxes filed. Because just because you're not working and you're receiving your Social Security check or checks from the state for your income doesn't mean you can't have your taxes filed. So we really want those who are in that situation to still come in because they can qualify for tax credits that they don't even know about.
Awesome. And so you kind of mentioned eligibility with low income. Brittany, can you tell us what that eligibility threshold is? What does that look like?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we serve low to moderate income individuals at 75,000 AGI or less.
Okay. And I've heard rumor that NMCAA employees are all eligible. Is that correct?
The rumor is very true, and we highly encourage it. We always love doing staff and volunteers at NMCAA, all their tax returns. And especially with this year, we have a really big goal to meet. So we really want to do as many tax returns as possible. And we love doing NMCAA staff as well.
So volunteers for the tax program, this program we're specifically talking about, they also are eligible.
The volunteers themselves?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we encourage them to do their own taxes and their friends and families.
Perfect. So NMCAA employees, if you are listening, which I hope you are, please reach out to Brittany and figure out how you can get your taxes done for free. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about eligibility. What is the tax? I mean, obviously, like I said at the very beginning, tax preparation is something, personally, I'm not a numbers gal. I dread doing my taxes. I don't even like trying to gather all the paperwork up. So what does it look like for you when somebody is like, hey, I think I want to get my taxes done? Where does that process start and what does the process look like?
Yeah, it starts by them calling the office nearest them. So we've got an office, 3 main Traverse City offices, Traverse City, Petoskey, and Cadillac. But then we also have partners that we work with, Benzie Senior Resource Center, Benzie Area Christian Neighbors, Kalkaska Senior Center, and then First Baptist Church in Charlevoix. So we've got a lot of partners that also help us administer the program. You call the tax site nearest you, and then you'll be given a nice tax packet. And we try to make it as easy as possible for people. So there's a nice checklist on the front, so you know what documents to bring to the table. You can always call the main phone number, 231-947-3780, and push number 3. If you have questions, if you're not totally sure what to bring, if you want clarification, there's people at the phone lines ready to help you walk through that process before you even show up for your appointment or your drop-off.
Perfect. So it seems like it could be a pretty simple process. Now, in terms of actually getting the taxes done, do the clients have to sit with the tax volunteer while they're preparing their taxes, or is that something where they can drop them off and they can come back at a later date?
Great question. We have several different ways of doing taxes, and it's whatever's most comfortable for the person who's getting their taxes done. So a lot of our offices have sit-down appointments. Our Traverse City office has sit-down appointments, our Cadillac, our Petoskey office, and Benzie Area Christian Neighbors. So if you want to get your taxes done in person with your preparer, you can book an appointment at those locations. All of the locations in general are able to do drop-off tax returns. So if you can't make it to an appointment during a weekday or you've just got a lot going on, you can drop off your taxes with the tax packet being complete in there and then come back and pick them up in a week. And the preparer will give you a call while they're doing it. So you're still involved in the process. They'll call you, ask you questions, you can clarify points, and then come back and pick up a finished return in about a week.
Awesome. So a week is about how long it takes that. So if you were to drop off.
Exactly. About 1 to 2 weeks based on volume. And we try to shoot for the 1 week mark.
Perfect. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so you mentioned all the different locations. And so I'm assuming that this is covering all of our 10 counties that we service for NMCAA as a whole. Do we do taxes for if you're a resident in a county that's not covered by NMCAA? What is that like?
We do. If someone happens to find us and they're out of our 10 county range, thankfully, we're not limited by grant funding on the zip code. So if someone comes to us from out of the 10 county range, we still happily do their taxes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. So we have listeners who are definitely should be going out and getting their taxes done by NMCAA. That's just such an incredible program. But I want to take a second to take a short break and recognize a few NMCAA milestone career achievements. Chuck Friedel, who was previously on our podcast, he is with TFAP and CSFP. He has been with NMCAA for 39 years. Incredible. He is yes, Alyssa's over there. Woo, woo. Yes, Chuck. Kudos to you. That's fantastic. Like, he's just incredible. Tammy Ristu with our Child and Family Development has been with us for 27 years. She's also been a guest on our podcast. And also we have Diane Bucko, who's in our business office. She's been with us for 22 years. Incredible achievements by all of these three people. We want to thank them again for the work that they do and the work that they do for us and for their neighbors.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Chuck is the longest employee at NMCAA, which is incredible.
Yes, he is. He is our highest seniority employee. Yes, he is. Yeah. Yes. So congrats to Chuck. Yeah, for sure. And all of them. They're just incredible. I love shouting out all the people who have great milestone achievements. So awesome. All right. Well, let's jump back into the tax prep stuff. So last year in 2023, the information that you guys submitted to me for the annual report showed that last year in 2023, NMCAA completed 3,306 tax returns free to community members, and it totaled $6,802,591 in credits and refunds. I've heard that NMCAA has increased their goal for this year for tax prep. Brittany, you kind of mentioned it earlier. Can you tell us what the goal is? Is it a number of tax returns? Is it a number of dollars returned to the community? Can you tell us about that?
Yes. We have big goals this year. We were blessed with a little extra funding, and with that little extra funding came a big extra goal. And I think we really can hit that goal. So our goal this year is 5,100 tax returns.
Wow, that's incredible.
That'll be 4,500 tax returns with the VITA program and 600 with the TCE program, which is new for us, the tax counseling for the elderly. So that's a new grant we haven't applied for in a while, and the collective will be 5,100.
Okay, so you just threw out an acronym. We are big on acronyms on this show. So VITA, I'm not familiar with. I've seen the logo just in all of our materials, but can you tell me what VITA is? And then I'm not sure what the other one was you said right after that.
VITA is Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program.
Okay. Yeah. And then you threw out another one.
And TCE is Tax Counseling for the Elderly. So the VITA program focuses on tax returns that are just within that income bracket. So 75,000 AGI or less. Seniors, veterans, people with disabilities, or English as a second language. So it's a really wide casting net. The TCE program, Tax Counseling for the Elderly, focuses primarily on those that are 65 years or older.
Okay.
And so two of the sites we have, Benzie Senior Resource Center and Kalkaska Senior Center, those are both already heavily senior populations. So those two are operating under TCE this year for us.
Okay. That's awesome. So there's a couple of different avenues here. That's great. So Super Saturday, we're promoting the event because this episode is going to air the day before Super Saturday. Hopefully lots of people listen to it and share right before the event and get more people to come. How many taxes do we expect to see completed on Super Saturday alone?
So far, we have 66 appointments on Super Saturday, and then several other preparers just jumped on board for that day. So we're opening up more appointments. So we're looking at almost 80 appointments that day.
Okay, fantastic. And you talked about having more volunteers so we have more ability to complete more taxes. How many volunteers do we have typically for this year for the tax program?
Yeah, I think across all 10 counties, we've got about 38 volunteer tax preparers. And that doesn't even include the volunteers that help with intake and with screening and all of our great partners at our partner sites. And the staff members and volunteers at those partner sites do a lot of implementation in the tax program as well. So collectively, it would be close to 45 or 50 across all the 10 counties.
Okay. So, but 38 specifically are
for
just
tax
actually preparing taxes.
Yes.
That's incredible.
It is.
And these volunteers, what does it look like to become a volunteer for that? Do they have to be a certain eligibility? Who can volunteer for that?
Really, anyone can. And it's a really wide variety of backgrounds. And the word volunteer for this program is such an understatement because they do hours and hours and hours of studying new tax law every single year. And that's not fun for everyone, but these people, they consider it fun.
Yeah.
And they really love their clients and they do such a great job working with their clients. And they do hours of tax studying every single year. They have to get IRS certified and recertify every single year to prepare taxes. Even if they've been with us for 15 years, every single year they recertify and test with the IRS. And then they do hundreds and hundreds of tax returns, tax appointments. And for 4 months, they are working really, really, really hard to help better the community and get people free tax returns.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. They really are more they're not a volunteer.
They
are
like
a volunteer, but that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Kudos to all of those people who are out there volunteering for us. I think that's incredible. And not only that, like, they find it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Hats off to them. I am not, like I said, I'm not that numbers gal. So I will happily bring my taxes to you and let you do that. I want to go back to that number in 2023. We had, over almost 7 million. It was $6,800,000 in credits and refunds. And I just want to make sure that we don't skip over the fact that this is money in credits and refunds that's being redistributed into the community. That's a huge piece of what community action is all about. We're bridging that gap and fighting against poverty, and putting that money back into the community is such a huge deal. It really reinvigorates that economy. So I think that's such a great thing. I love this. The more I learn about this program, I'm like, oh, this is so great. So we've been talking about volunteers. We also have NMCAA employees, obviously, within this tax program. So we've been talking a lot about volunteers, but we obviously still have NMCAA employees like yourself in the tax program. Are any of our employees actually doing the tax preparation?
Great question. None of the employees are actually doing the tax preparation itself. They support the program in other ways. So one staff member, Liz, books all of the appointments, answers the phones, fields questions from the clients. 2 other staff members, Justin and Karen Lepick, they are our designated quality reviewers. So their oversight on the tax returns, making sure everything is T's are crossed, I's are dotted, and they meet with the client to talk about the drop-off return because we want the client to understand their own numbers too.
Great.
And then we have Judy over in the Cadillac office who also supports on intake.
Awesome. Okay. So jumping back to volunteers. Volunteers are such a big part of this program, and not just this program, all NMCAA programs, but specifically talking about this one. Are we still looking for volunteers moving into this tax season? Obviously, we're kind of hitting the peak of it right now, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's really ramping up right now. But honestly, every time is a good time to have more volunteers. And it really just depends on the volunteer themselves, especially if I've seen volunteers that are pretty familiar with taxes already. And they just hop in, pass all their certs, and hit the ground running. So, yeah, we just onboarded a new volunteer last week, and they'll probably be getting certified in the next week or 2 to start appointments.
Awesome. So if someone's interested in volunteering, who should they reach out to? What's the first step that they should take?
The first step would be calling our main agency phone line, 231-947-3780. They can press number 3 for tax department and ask for Brittany.
Awesome. So we already talked a little bit about acronyms. I want to go back to another acronym, the EITC, which Karen Emerson again had sent to me just as a talking point about today's podcast preparation. So can you tell us what that is? And why is it important to get this particular thing? I guess tell us what it is first.
Yeah, the EITC is the Earned Income Tax Credit. So any individuals or families with earned income can also potentially receive extra money in the form of the Earned Income Tax Credit. There's a federal credit, and there's also a state of Michigan credit. And the exciting part about that is the state of Michigan just increased that amount from 6% of the federal up to the 30% mark of the federal.
Okay, wow.
So Michiganders will be seeing more money coming back into their pockets if they're earning money.
That is a huge increase.
It is. It's very exciting.
So that's why that's important to get that out into the community and tell them about that. So let's just take a second. I want to go back to Super Saturday because I know we shouted out all the sponsors. Alissa, I want to know, can you tell me some of the other things? We talked about workshops. We talked about the scam bingo and things that are going on there. Can you tell us, I know you mentioned there's going to be prizes and I think lunch is included. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, of course. So Jimmy John's has been a huge partner of ours for, I think, about 5 or 6 years now, Brittany? Or maybe even
I've been doing it 6 years, and they've been doing lunches for us, since then and beyond, I think.
It might even be 7 years, and they donate our lunches every year, which is great. We have a wonderful relationship with them, and I just reach out to them every year, and the owner's just like, yep, we've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for the phone call. Yeah, so it's really nice to know that they anticipate us every year.
Yeah.
And for the prizes, we do have door prizes that we do a drawing for at the end of Super Saturday. So for the last half hour of the event, all the attendees all congregate into the big room together for the final prizes that we draw. And this year, one of our big prizes is from Cherry Republic. They donated a really fun gift box full of I believe it's their top 6 products that they sell.
Awesome.
So that was really exciting to include.
Cherry Republic's always good. Shout out to them.
Yes.
And am I wrong? Did you also have a basket or something from the beauty college? They were handing out a gift, right?
Yeah, so the beauty college is going to donate a little fun self-care gift basket. So we're really excited about that. Thank you, Traverse City Beauty College, graduate from the program here too. So
awesome.
That kind of feels really good to bring them in.
Yeah, awesome. Any other sponsors that are giving us some great... Today is actually my 1-year anniversary. Look at that.
Congratulations,
Happy
Erica.
anniversary.
Go me. Hey, so I'm still learning a lot. And so I've never attended this event. So is there anything else that someone off the street would be like, Super Saturday, what's that? Is there any other prizes or anything like that you would want to share just to get people to come in and check it out, even if they're not, sure if they want to get their taxes done? Anything exciting?
Yeah. So CDM, who is our grantor for this event, they are big on surveys because they want to know what's going on within the community and who we're serving. And so every attendee, we highly encourage to fill out a survey before they leave, because we offer a nice little incentive of a $20 gas card. So they come into the event, hang out with us, and we highly encourage everyone to stay for the whole day because of all the great educational opportunities that we have. And they can fill out the survey and get a gas card from us.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's really great.
Most of our attendees do stay the whole day because it's fun and it's feel good, and you get to talk to other community members. And I think everyone who attends, and myself included, I think staff included, we all walk away with knowing something we didn't know about our community or making a connection we didn't have before.
Yeah. And I'm sorry if we already said this, but did we mention the location of the event?
I don't think we have.
Not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Drum roll,
gosh.
please.
Yeah.
It's the Career Tech. It's the Career Tech Center on Parsons Avenue.
Okay, so this only takes place in Traverse City.
Correct.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
Even though you can get your taxes done in all 10 counties, this particular event is in Traverse City.
Yeah.
At the Career Tech Center.
Yeah. And
fantastic.
other organizations have shown me the monies all across the state. Like the tax program will also be attending one with the Michigan Works Roscommon County too.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add about your free tax prep program that we haven't covered today?
I think the only other thing I'd want to mention is that we heavily lean into making sure that all of our clients get the property tax credit and the home heating credits filed. And so again, that's a credit for whether you're earned income or fixed income. So even if you're on Social Security and disability, a lot of our clients find us and they realize they've never filed for this credit and they've been missing out on this money. And so we're able to help people back file up to 4 years if they fell off the wagon and stopped filing, or if they want to catch up on those credits they've been missing out on. And so that can be thousands of extra dollars for people.
Wow. Incredible.
Yeah.
The things professionals know that, if you're doing them at home, you might not have insight into. That's great. So I just want to confirm, we've already talked about the phone number to contact us, but it's 231-947-3780. You said hit number 3 for tax. And we've already talked about how you can volunteer. Again, you can reach out, same phone number. And is there, if they go on the website at NMCAA.net, is it /taxes? Is that correct?
Yeah. NMCAA.net/taxes is the landing page. And then this year,
Perfect.
You don't even have to call to book an appointment. You can self-book on our website. So for Traverse City, Petoskey, and Benzie area Christian neighbors, you can just hop online and choose your own appointment from the calendar. And we also have 2 virtual filing options, myfreetaxes.com And so you can hop on there, file for free, or even if you're self-employed, you can do it for a very low fee. It walks you through it very easily, similar to TurboTax, but totally free. So you can use that option. Or on our website, we've got getyourrefund.org/NMCAA. And that's a way that you can do taxes with us without even leaving your home. So you can create an account, upload your documents, and it goes straight to our tax preparers.
Wow, incredible. Look at us go. I like you. This is great. I don't want to leave my home. All right. So before we wrap things up today, I have a couple of questions for each of you. So Alissa first, if you had one wish for Super Saturday, what would it be and why?
My wish is for everyone to have fun and for everyone to walk away with something that they didn't know.
Perfect. Education. I love it. Yes. Having the power of knowledge, right? Okay. And Brittany, if there was one thing you wish people knew about tax prep, what would it be and why?
That it's not as scary as you think. And we're here to help make it not as scary.
Yeah.
And it can be a positive experience. You can create a positive relationship with your wonderful tax preparer because we have a lot of those. So just get your taxes done. It'll feel good.
Yeah. It always does feel good when you're like, oh, it's finally checked off my list.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate both of you taking the time out of your day to be here with us. And I know you're very busy because it is tax season. So don't forget to go on nmcaa.net //taxes / thank you. And check that out. Book your appointment. Give us a call. And again, thank you so much. Don't forget, we'd like to share your community stories regarding NMCAA. If you have a story you'd like to share about how NMCAA has impacted your life, send us an email at collectiveuspodcast@nmcaa.net. If you've enjoyed today's podcast, please hit the like, follow, or share button. It truly helps us continue to get the word out on all the good NMCAA is doing in the community. And if you'd like to learn more about Northwest Michigan Community Action Agency or the programs we offer, would like to get your taxes done, or would like to make a donation, we encourage you to reach out at 231-947-3780 or visit our website, nmcaa.net. And to our listeners today, we encourage you to continue to strive each day to do something to help yourself or your neighbors.